Does anyone know what pH stands for?
Pair of hydrogen.
Potential for hydrogen. So, when we mix it in water, we can rate it from a scale of 1 to 14. So before, when we said that acids have 1 less than what?
7?
Yes. And bases were? More than 7, yeah. And so, if acids are less than 7 and bases are more than 7, what is the middle?
Neutral.
Yes. Okay. Okay, so in order to test the pH, we can either use litmus paper, which is a paper that when dipped in an acid or a base turns either red, like on your scale there, or blue. Or it can turn green if it's neutral. So that's called litmus paper. So it can be used, they generally come with a little scale like the one I've supplied you with, and you compare that to know how strong or weak an acid or a base is. So does anyone know if it's a strong acid, where on the scale would it be?
Strong acids are on the left of our scale, so they're the red ones.
Yes. And a weak one?
Weakly towards orangey and yellow, and they get weaker.
Yeah, that's correct. And bases would obviously be the opposite. So, other household items that you can use to test pH are things like red cabbage, which we're doing today. Does anyone eat cabbage? Yes. No? So, you can also use red onions or beetroot. So, the stuff I used today was I chopped it up into little pieces and I've soaked it in water, so in boiling water. So you can actually do that at home if you want to test anything at home that you could think is acidic or basic. Another word I didn't mention earlier is basic can be also known as alkaline. So, situations in which pH has to be controlled. We said heartburn earlier. That's when the acid comes up your esophagus and it gives you really bad pain in your chest. That's when we take antacids, which we spoke about earlier. Now, in our next lesson, we're going to be looking at that in further detail. So, planting vegetables and flowers, why would we have to control that? You know? Yeah?
The plants will die if the soil is too acidic or too alkaline.
That's exactly right. And fish tanks and ponds, kind of the same thing. The fish would die. Yeah. And swimming pools. Does anyone have a pool at home?
Yeah.
Yeah. What happens if it gets too acidic or alkaline? What does the pool look like?
Ours is currently very green.
Green. Exactly.
It's not that you have to keep it away from neutral and try to keep it a bit caustic or alkaline.
The perfect pH for a swimming pool is 7.2 to 7.6.
So what do you put chemicals in your pool?
So it's to kill bacteria, etc., and keep it between that pH, because that's the healthy range. So if it goes out of that range, it either breeds bacteria, or generally when you go to a pool party, etc., and you see everyone come out and they have red eyes. Does that ever happen to anyone? Yeah. Burning, and it also makes your skin itchy. So that's where we have here. So if they're too acidic or basic, it's not desirable, and that just goes into what we just discussed. So it kills plants and it can create sinkholes in soil. So has anyone seen? So these can result if the soil comes through acidic, plants die, eyes burn, pools get green, fish die. Okay, so that's the end of our scale. Now I have a fun experiment for you today. So what I have is I've made an indicator from red cabbage, as I showed you before. So I just blended it up with boiling water, and it gives us this solution. And so what I want you to do is get yourselves in groups. I have some activity forms that I want you to do. So these are the activities. There's one for you, Michael. And I also have these, which I've written out the experiment for you so that you have something to refer to. So take turns. I want everyone to get one of each. So, does everyone recognise these items?
Yeah.
This one is my son's drink bottle. It has tap water in it. Alright, so, come up and grab one for each group. So, one of each. And you also need a jug of the indicator.
Do I grab?
Yes. So if you grab one of each stuff down. And so I've written on them little indicators. So one is BC and milk, etc. Okay, and then yeah, sorry. Bradley, you can do yours over here if they're moving your. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's to stir. Yeah, so what she's going to be expected to do is pour one, this is your control, so you'll pour a little bit in so that you can compare them to what it looks like prior. So if you read through the directions, you're each asked to predict what you think will happen to each substance, if it's an acid or a base, prior to testing it.
Does dissolve fats and
Yeah, but you write your predictions on your form prior. So,
it's just a teaspoon enough?
yeah, or you can just pour it in and then give it a mix with the spoon. So the water, so the water is actually a neutral colour. So because we're using a cabbage indicator, so if we have here, see it has here a sample of the colours, so it's actually, if you compare it against this one, yeah.
So this is neutral.
Yeah.
This one's going to be acid because it's lemon.
So this is the control.
Yeah.
So see that's.
Are you going over here? Did you do your
I'm
predictions
just doing
prior?
my
Yeah.
reactivity.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So how much do we put in this?
And did you see that your cabbage indicator, I've given you one on your experiment sheet so you can compare it. Because this one's actually when we use litmus paper.
Okay.
So this one's not more the cabbage.
So how much do we put in?
So see, so see the water, you can see is neutral.
Cool.
That was water.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Water. Neutral. Yay.
So
I love it.
that's the lemon juice.
So,
Oh, cool! Look at that, Brian.
wow.
Holy, this is cabbage.
That's
Really?
Yeah.
That was lemon juice. So it was like.
So you can actually make this at home if you ever want to test
So I'm testing my tool at home.
What
And
colour?
they try to sell me $20 strips. I say,
Things you can't do with the cabbage indicators are things like Coca-Cola, etc., which wouldn't be able to see the change.
the colours already.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So where's the dishwashing liquid?
So it would be DW.
Okay.
Yep.
Here, do you want to do
Are
that
you
one?
going over here?
Yes, I do.
I know, that one threw me a little. Because when I was organising this one, I actually predicted that it would be alkaline.
The pinky purpley.
But it's obviously... Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's got
Yeah, it's like 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that one's
It's
just soft.
like 4.
Yeah,
right?
it's Aldi hand wash. I think this is so cool.
Oh, that one is
So that was to show
I have to deal with that in my head. I had it the other way.
pink, purple.
Oh no.
Oh no, you're good.
Oh no.
Okay.
How we going over here? Great. Getting through them?
Because we've done the water.
This one was a bit of a shock we were just talking about in the group over there.
Oh look, it's the hand was just
What was your prediction? It should be nice. Base. See, that's what my prediction was, but...
So it's more than the dishwashing liquid.
Yeah, so this is hand wash.
So,
So
what is it? An
I
acid?
did actually not expect that one when I was testing it.
So is it,
Down this end.
it's like 2 or 3 pH, so it's acid.
Yeah.
Does today tonight know
You
about
can
this?
imagine what it does to your hand.
Yeah.
So that was pink red.
Wow, that's really bright, isn't it? That's almost off the scale.
Where's our tomato sauce?
So how are we looking with our indicator on here as well?
Do we really want to know this?
What was this?
Well, it's there.
So there it usually is.
I suppose it's not.
Yeah, it was
It's like a very tinge of a purple.
yeah,
Red.
it's purple.
It's really.
We've got to think like children.
We didn't know.
Take them home.
This is a good idea. So milkweed drinks.
Oh no, that's good. So it is, so that is tomato sauce. So tomatoes are quite acidic. And have you tested the bicarb yet? This is what we
Because like Sprite. What a waste. What a waste.
So maybe 6.5.
I think we expected that one.
You expected that one, yeah?
But not as
Did you see the bicarb, Michael, before you duck off?
No, it's fine. Okay, Sprite, what do you say?
Oh wow, let's quickly do that. Right, 20 minutes.
Yeah?
Let's quickly do that.
just carbonic acid.
Oh wow.
It's interesting that you say that. We'll talk about that in a minute. Is this going to bubble? Did it bubble?
No. Nah, it won't.
You're very smart. Other than the liquid hand wash, it actually tricked me.
That's what I said. It's a gifted and talented class.
Okay, so we wrapping up over here, and how are we going over here? How many more do we have to go?
No, we did them all.
You've done them all? Great. So I'll clear this off. Pop this back over here. Thank you. Oh. I'll pinch those. Thank you.